Got some wheels from Melinda's car right here. Some custom wheels for her car. Yeah, they go round and round. This is one of those slices of wood you guys seen in a video here a while back. And how much did they ask for me originally priced for those? 5,000 for what? For 2 pieces?
Yes.
And Melinda's like, I said, heck no, but no. And times went by. I guess it's been maybe, what, a month since then. And yeah, Mel worked it down to 1/5 of the price because we knew that was ridiculous. They were just rolling the dice.
Plus, over here, nobody wants to buy the 20 film and just a local, instead of just outside people that there's some money.
Yeah.
So when I came past there last night, I said, oh, I'm gonna check it. So I said, I deal with it. I said, how much it was? I said.
Well, I thought I'd put these in here and let them dry also. Just let them season up good, and later on after the house is finished, I'll figure out where I'm gonna place them, but I'll probably make a metal frame for the legs on it. We were at a place the other night that we really like, and they put a metal frame as well on legs for some. They got some too and used them at a place that serves food. Real nice epoxy coating over them all, just looked absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. They are moving along fast up there, getting that all ready for the roof deck pour. Let me tell you a couple things I ran into though. Getting the steel for it. I've been working at it for a while. Of course, I didn't want too much steel piled up here everywhere, and it can walk away as well. So my supplier that I normally buy it from, their supplier is out, so they can't get any, and so they can't deliver, and they don't know how long, because this building season here and everybody's buying and there's a little bit of shortage of materials anyway. There is a lot of building going on in the Philippines. The government projects alone are taking up a mass amount of materials. I saw a Portland ship sitting in the wharf, man. I mean, they were just pumping out just pure Portland powder out of these ships. Just amazing. So nevertheless, I drove around yesterday in the city, the building supply companies, and some of them too were also out. But I did find one that has some, and I'm gonna have to drive back to the city today and order from them. I'm hoping that all that works out well, because that will end up being what they say, the wrench and the spokes if I don't get that. I know some of you are gonna say, oh, you should have had all that ordered in advance. We've had a lot of steel here, but there was a limit to how much I want it piled here without it having to just be guarded, because people will take that. They absolutely will. Nevertheless, I'll get it all solved. I'll get it taken care of. It'll work out. It is a thick jungle. Surprised I can walk through here this easy. So now you may see here I bought some ordinary marine plywood. Now it is marine plywood, it's not just ordinary, but when you go buy it from them, they'll say, oh, that's ordinary marine plywood, meaning that it's not the top of the line marine plywood. There's a brand name here, I think it's Santa Clara. That's like the top of the line marine plywood. So this is what they will call ordinary marine plywood, and then they'll have this plywood they call ordinary, which is not marine at all. So you just kind of got to learn those little lingos, or you get a little confused by it all. Ordinary, and then ordinary marine, and then like good marine, which is like Santa Clara. I believe that's the name of it. Now the reason I bought this and not the black foam board is because that black foam board, it has a poly film on it. It's like a real thin type of like a plastic film on there, and that keeps your concrete and all from sticking. Well, I wanted some sheets that I would be able to paint and use later on a different project after we do this pour. And a lot of these sheets are just going to get a one-time single use up here on this roof deck. Some of them not even on the roof deck, they're on the side. They're going to get one pour on them and that's it. And then I want to be able to use that plywood in a different project we'll have coming up in the future. And I want it to be paintable. I want it to be able to have paint to adhere to it. This paint won't adhere, and I mean, I know somebody's gonna get suggestions. You can sand it and this and that. Can you imagine taking sandpaper, how fast that plastic will clog up in sandpaper? My goodness gracious. Another thing about that WoodTech plywood is other than the plastic film on it, it is not weatherproof or marine at all. It is what they would call ordinary. The only thing that seals it and gives it protection is the fact that it has that poly film. Other than that, it will rot out very fast. And it seems like the insects really love that WoodTech. On my columns up here, up on that top roof of that room, I have had Joel reducing those down. I said, man, this is it. It's terminating out to the top, and it's just no reason to have that big a column up there anymore like that. That those need to reduce. It's just going to create extra weight, spending extra money materials to fill it. It just serves no purpose anymore. So he's reduced some of them already and back around different places. He's about to reduce this one and the one right up in here. He'll reduce those down, and one more here. He's already got some of the stirrups off. I think he did one in the front there already. Yep. So overall, that'll save a lot of concrete and reduce a lot of weight up there. There's just no sense for it. It's just one final room up there, and that's it. Plus the extra long pieces of 16 mm that come out of that, we can use them somewhere. So it's not only going to save us money and less materials to make that, but we actually gain some material back. And I had asked him to see if he could take those existing stirrups and reform them down without cutting new straight pieces. He did some test runs on it the other day, and it was super easy to do, so we didn't lose money and stirrup materials as well. So that's working out pretty good, and I'll be very happy to reduce those down and not have so much unneeded weight up there. Bonbons here, and brought the doors. I'm ready to see these. Oh yeah. The outsides here.
Very old. Old, thick old.
You talking about Joel? Yeah, he is very old. But he's not a teak. He's not a teak. He's just an antique. Heavy?
And also super dry.
Yeah, it looks dry.
I stuck with almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, it looks
Also
dry.
this, except the header.
Yeah.
But the frame are too old. All stuck.
Man, that's a good deal too. I can't believe you only charged me 500 pesos per door. Good deal.
How much, Lord?
500 pesos per door. Man, it's nice to have friends. I like it. So that's pretty cool. We got those. That is the jamb and door for this opening right here, and coming on around. And that's also the door and jamb for right here as well. And then there's a glass slider on its way for that opening right over there. Lo and behold, I was sitting down here figuring up all of the cubic meters of concrete that I'm gonna need to have delivered. I am really good. I guessed it the other day. I spitballed it right out of my mind. Linda's in here, she'll tell you. And I said 40. And it probably really is 40, but I wanted some room to play. So I rounded up to 41. When I did all the math there just then, it came out exactly 41 cubic meters. And that is actually where some joints are crossing each other. I'm gaining a little bit, but I want that. It probably really is 40, but I spitballed it really good, and yeah, it worked out. So I got, you know, beams that we got to pour in there. We got some tops of some walls in there that's got to be poured. So all these are different sizes. Then you got the thickness of the slab. Then you got a big opening where the foyer goes up. And then you got where the room's going to be in the middle up there. It's thicker than what the roof deck is because I want it to rise higher so water don't ever flood up there and pour down into the house. So you got all this stuff. And I've been itemizing it down and breaking it down in a grid here on this paper, getting it all broke down, and I did the math on it. And I tell you, there's a tool out there you can use too that helps you. I've been using it for years. I've been using this a long time. It really helps when you're out in the field doing this stuff and all, quoting jobs and all. It's Cheney Concrete Calculator. Check that out. Cheney Concrete Calculator. They help you out on all kinds of forms and formulas. Now it doesn't do it in meters, it does it in yards and feet only. So what I did is like convert it, so you know, basically I had like 53 cubic yards, and I did the conversion math on that, and it come out to 41 cubic meters. God, so tired of that mask on.
So hot.
So we are here in Iloilo, right across the street from Robinson's Place Mall, and we are in this place is called, where's that receipt at, Mo?
Northern Lumber.
Yeah, it's Northern Lumber, but I just want to show them. Yeah, so it's called Northern Iloilo Lumber and Hardware, and they're huge places. I seen just as I showed you just now, spinning the camera around, this is just some of the outside. It turns and goes up in between buildings all the way up a long ways, feeling like alleyways up between buildings down through here. So she's back there in the back smiling. So anyway, this place is huge. It goes up in between buildings here everywhere. It's a huge place. And it comes all the way down, out halfway down another block down here, behind Jag, where I was at recently, doing some business also. Well, anyway, I didn't video inside their store. I just don't like just going throwing the camera on people everywhere, you know. I just don't like that, unless they kind of know what's coming in advance. But I had my list of stuff there, and the girl was going down my list, and the last thing that I wrote was electrical, or 2-inch electrical conduit nuts. And some reason that girl read it, and she looked at me with a serious face and said, "Sir, we don't sell coconuts." I'm like, what? Melinda too was looking like, coconuts? And she read that conduit nuts as cocoa nuts. I'm like, I didn't have coconuts on the list, but we all got a laugh over it big time. What? Yeah. So then when I drew the map to the place, I drew the coconut trees there at the house and put right there at the coconuts. She laughed again. They were cracking up. It's a good time. It's a good experience. I was able to pay with my Chase card, so I'll earn those rewards. I'll give you a rundown on some materials here that I purchased from them to give you some ideas of prices here real quick. So I ordered I ordered 360 pieces of 12 mm, and those are like 20 foot long. They're 242 pesos each. Now there is another place we priced over here that was like 230 something pesos, but no stock, so they can have a cheaper price all they want, but they have no stock, nor do they know when they'll have stock. But so that's 360 pieces at 242. Then I got 30 pieces of 16 mm. The price has grown on it greatly everywhere. It is now 430 pesos each. When I began to build on that house, it was, I'm telling you, it was 100 and something pesos less each than that. Bought 4 pieces of 2-inch Schedule 40 GI pipe. That's like a galvanized pipe, and they were 1,844. So it's yeah, 4 pieces GI pipe, 1,844 is what they were each. I bought some 1-inch Schedule 40 GI pipe, and it was 836 each. I bought 4 pieces of 3/16 angle bar, or angle iron as we'll call in the US, steel, and those are also 20 footers. They were 819 pesos each. I bought 12 pieces of galvanized C-purlin. That's 2-inch wide by 6-inch, and they were 1,231 pesos each. I bought a full row of GI wire, that's the tie wire, number 16, and it was 2,350 pesos each. And I bought 20 pieces of that long sweep electrical elbow, 1/2 inch, and they are 9 pesos each, really cheap. That's why when people say, oh, you can just make those and heat it in sand and stick a spring inside and blah blah blah. For 9 pesos each, I'm not going to go through that trouble. I'll get a perfect machined one. So there we go right there, and they charged me 1,680 peso delivery charge. And they're coming all the way from the middle of the city all the way out to the town of Tigbawan. Just the fuel cost and labor alone will eat that up. So they're really not making no money or nothing off of that. All right, well, that is it, and we're gonna get out of here and get on to the next thing. Do we exit the same way, Mo? All right, see you later.